Terrifier 3, a new entry in the Terrifier franchise, has caused mass walkouts and vomiting across theaters nationwide due to the immense amount of gore and violence that no one is used to seeing. But in spite of all of that, I want to say this, Terrifier 3, it's actually a valid Christmas movie, and dare I even say, more so than Die Hard. So Terrifier 3 takes place 5 years after the last film, with the characters Sienna and Jonathan trying to piece their lives together after surviving the events of the last film, surviving Art the Clown. And yeah, this film's got a lot of controversy because of the violence, the amount of gore, and the same thing happened with Terrifier 2, which, when Terrifier 2 came out, that's the whole reason why I actually wanted to check this franchise out and probably why I've even watching 3 in the first place. It's very much a joy to see how these films have progressed in craftsmanship, because you can see the budget increase. You can see how Terrifier 1 just starts as a very low budget, almost student film like project, but still driven by passion from a filmmaker. And you can see these ideas develop, and you can see the budget increase, and you really see these ideas come to life. And I think it really peaks here with Terrifier 3. Terrifier 3, I think, just is a damn great horror film, honestly, all around. And not just a great horror film, but just a great film in general. First, we got to talk about the gore. Because that's what everyone's talking about with this film. That's what I think Terrifier franchise prides itself on. And yes, it can't be overstated how gory this film is. If you think that it's like a marketing gimmick and that this is just an example of critics overhyping it, I assure you it's not. I say this as somebody that doesn't really get bothered by gore, but there are definitely a couple scenes in this film that I kind of had to look away. I was kind of feeling nauseous, honestly. It's not so much just how real it looks, which it certainly does look real. It's just the amount of it, and also just the ideas and concepts are executed. I mean, you're watching a movie, and just when you think oh, okay, let me guess, they're going to do this with the saw, or they're going to do that with the hammer. You think it's going to be really cliche and expected, but then they take it into a totally different direction as far as how they're killing their victims, and it's 10 times more demented than you can anticipate. So much so that you kind of question the sanity of the filmmaker when watching this. I wonder if this guy has serious problems, because I would never have thought about that, to doing that to another human being. But additionally, I also liked how this film delivers on other types of scares and tensions. I'm not spoiling anything here, but the opening of this film, it starts with Art the Clown massacring a family, wife, husband, and kids, just a couple of nights before Christmas. But it's actually, as bad as that sounds, they don't actually see the kids get killed. We're actually kind of looking at this from the point of view of a little girl, and we follow right from her point of view Art the Clown going up the stairs into the brother's bedroom. We can hear an axe falling down and all the ghastly sounds that you would expect from a butchering. But I think that was way more disturbing, unsettling, to have to slowly walk into that situation and to hear it and let our imagination fill it. I suppose the filmmaker easily could have shown all that, and that definitely would have been disturbing and unsettling, but it might have also come off as tacky. Still, I think that restraint shows that I think the filmmaker has also evolved over the past Terrifier films. Not to mention, this film has great cinematography, especially with the use of mise-en-scène, making great use of the Christmas aesthetic. Each scene and is shot is just colorful fun that you would want in your horror slasher film. And I have to say, yeah, great color grading too. I really ever talk about color grading in this film, but I really like what they did here. I also don't know if they filmed it on 35mm or not, but it looks like they did. Maybe they used digital and you just put film grade on there, but it looks really good, authentic. It has a really warm feeling. Great warm color grading, especially at a time where I feel like color grading is a lost art now. A lot films just look really flat and stale. This doesn't. Terrifier 3, I think, shows how it's done in that regard. On top of that, you ever rarely hear this about a slasher film, but I think the story was actually really good. Not just, following Art the Clown, which is, really entertaining and intense, but also following the main characters, Sienna and Jonathan, who are trying to piece their lives together, after the trauma they survived. And that's what the film's all about. It's about how do you get over this trauma of surviving a massacre, and also how does that process affect those around you, right? Because it's not just going to be hard for you, it's going to be hard for the people around you and who love you. It's going to hurt them too, to see you kind of lose yourself and try to get a grip of reality. It didn't feel like, oh, like filler, like we just need to put this here in between the killings to make a movie. It actually felt like a very sincere story that was being told by the filmmaker. And speaking on that, I think what makes that great were the performances too, especially from Lauren Lavera. You know, she was good in Terrifier 2, but man, I think her performance was really good in this film. Great range in terms of like being vulnerable, but also incredibly fierce. It was, yeah, very authentic. I think the filmmakers really struck gold with her in Terrifier 2 because, you know, when you watch Terrifier 2, it's a very low budget film, and when you're making a low budget slasher film, you can't really, pick the best actors. You're not really in that position, so you just gotta kind of like take what you can get. Kind of reminds me of Sarah Connor in Terminator 2 in both performance and the script. But it's not just that like it's her being a mimic of Sarah Connor in Terminator 2. It's actually like bringing that like authenticity and rawness. And I suspect that we're going to see more of her in the future in many, many films. And deservedly so. And yeah, I said that this film is a kind of a Christmas movie. Yeah, it is. It goes beyond the Christmas setting. There's actually like rural themes about like families coming together in crisis, as well as very explicit like Christian imagery of like demons cowering in fear of the Virgin Mary, as well as the main character Sienna, very, very explicitly like being sort of a stand-in for Jesus and conquering demons and evil. But I look at that, I'm like, it's a valid Christmas movie. It is. Christmas, themes of Jesus and themes of family. It's like, yeah, this definitely is. Now, would I watch this film on Christmas? Hell no. Would I watch this movie every Halloween though? Yeah, because I think this is a certified Halloween horror classic. And not only that, but I think it's probably one of the best films released this year, honestly, both with the ambition and also the craftsmanship. I want to give Terrifier 3 an easy 4 stars out of 5. So guys, have you seen Terrifier 3 yet? And also, have you seen the other films released in the franchise? Hit the like button, hit subscribe. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. I'll see you next time.